Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Today's rundown is going out to Bodile Gaming. Thanks for the shout out at the end, Vic. Awesome video. I played some Destiny 2 with Bodile Gaming. He is an incredible player. I think he streams some of his stuff as well, so you should check out his vids. Thank you so much to you, Bodile Gaming, for helping me be a better Destiny 2 player, and also to our brand new member, our brand new EPN member, Craig M1R3. Thanks so much. Let's get started with your rundown. It seems like everyone is rushing to create their own Fortnite-style Battle Royale game, and now you can use Fortnite to do that. Epic Games has announced Fortnite Creative, an all-new mode for their hit online game that will let players make their own games. It doubles down on the construction mechanics from the existing Fortnite modes and allows players to design their own games and game modes and then share and edit them with friends. There will also be a cinema mode if you want to create and edit your own Fortnite videos. Fortnite Creative essentially turns Fortnite into a game creation experience like Little Big Planet, although Epic stresses that it's still being fine-tuned, so the initial release will be rough. It launches tomorrow for players who buy the new Season 7 Battle Pass and will go into wide release for everyone on December 13th. Epic is turning Fortnite into a platform. They're turning it into a vehicle to bring people to Unreal Engine and to the new Epic Games Store that they're going to launch. It's incredible. This is what the power of one phenomenal game launch can do. This is a phenomenon. This is something that has transcended the game industry. Fortnite is its own industry at this point, and this is a company that's staying, man. This isn't a company that's saying, okay, we made our hit, this is awesome, let's milk this for as long as we can, we're all cashing out. Epic is a company that's been around for a long time. They fully believe and are fully invested in this industry, financially for sure, but I think also creatively. They've given developers all over the world all kinds of great creative tools to build their properties, and it's exciting. I'm super pumped for everybody at Epic. This is big news. This is really big news, and congrats to our friends at Epic. The Far Cry franchise is heading into post-apocalyptic territory. Ubisoft has released a short teaser video for a new Far Cry project. It appears to take place years after the surprise finale of this year's Far Cry 5, where, spoiler alert, the entire world is destroyed during a nuclear war. Judging by the teaser, the game will likely have a post-apocalyptic Mad Max tone with survivors fighting each other, but we'll have to wait and see. It's also unclear if this will be an all-new standalone game or another expansion to Far Cry 5. We'll get to find out tomorrow night when Ubisoft gives the project a full unveiling at the Game Awards. This is cool. I mean, this is, something that the Ubisoft Montreal team can absolutely do very well. The idea of giving us a Mad Max-style experience in the Far Cry engine, I'm super excited for that. I don't care if it's a standalone thing or if it's like a brand new game or if it's just kind of like the Blood Dragon experience or something. The Mad Max game that was made a few years ago was cool, but it was, a little empty feeling. And I feel like the Far Cry devs could really populate the world that they craft for us with some interesting things, mutated animals and all kinds of stuff. But I'm psyched for that. Really excited for all the reveals at the Game Awards. I think this is going to be one for the ages, man. And my hat's off to Jeff Keighley for assembling all of these cool little teasers and tastes. We already know that the Dragon Age stuff is coming too. Very excited about a new Far Cry experience. Far Cry 5 rocks. Now, Rockstar Games is doing everything they can to keep the Old West alive, but they might not be able to. With the open beta test for Red Dead Online launching last week, many players are worried that their progress might not carry over to the final non-beta version. In a statement released earlier this week, Rockstar revealed that there's a small chance your progress might be wiped when the final version goes online, which means you'll have to start from scratch with a new character. However, in a later statement released yesterday afternoon, Rockstar reassures fans that this is only a very remote possibility, and they promise they're doing everything that they can to ensure it won't happen. This seems like Rockstar is just playing it safe by being open with players, so it's probably nothing to worry about, but still, players might want to keep this in the back of their mind while they're playing. There's no word when the beta will be finished. This is a complex project, man. I think we have to give Rockstar a little benefit of the doubt here. They're really trying to stack all of these components together and make it one seamless escape, and I can't imagine the technical hurdles that they're overcoming, with building this property in the first place. Clearly, they've got some experience with Grand Theft Auto Online. Hopefully, all of that stuff will help them just make this a smooth transition, but yeah, it'll suck for people that have put hours and hours and hours into this game and then have all that stuff wiped out. I really hope that that doesn't happen, but I feel like it kind of speaks to the complexity of building a game of this scale in 2018. It's still something that can be incredibly problematic even for the most well-funded and well-staffed companies on Earth. It makes me feel like we're still a long way away from Westworld, like an actual physical, real-life Westworld with robots walking around. I definitely need to jump back into Red Dead Online, man. I really had a good time the other day. Now, you might be able to jump back into the power suit before Metroid Prime 4 arrives. Nintendo is rumored to be working on a remastered version of the first 3 Metroid Prime games for the Switch. Swedish retailer Inet has posted a listing for a Switch version of the Metroid Prime Trilogy collection, which will have updated graphics and controls for the system. No official announcements have been made, but this wouldn't be their first re-release for a new system. The first 2 Prime games were originally released on the GameCube, with the third game made for the Wii, and all 3 were re-released on the Wii in the remastered Metroid Prime Trilogy collection. That collection was also playable on the Wii U in 2015, so putting the collection on the Switch seems like a no-brainer. It would also be the perfect way to get people hyped for Metroid Prime 4, which still doesn't have a release window. I'm down with this. I think this is going to happen. I think we're going to see the Metroid Prime Trilogy collection on the Switch, mostly as kind of an on-ramp to get people psyched and hyped for Metroid Prime 4, because you've got to remember, this is a new generation of players out there. This is people that maybe sat out the GameCube, maybe played the Wii just for Wii Sports or whatever, because there was a lot of players like that. A lot of people just bought the machine and then they only bought 1 or 2 games for it. And so a lot of people haven't played the Metroid Prime games. I know that's crazy to say, especially to our audience out there, but a lot of people have not played it. And the Switch is another machine that I think is breaking down barriers and getting a lot of people back into games, or it's becoming the system that a lot of parents are sharing with their kids for the first time. They've never seen Metroid Prime before. Very psyched. I can't wait to play these games again. They're phenomenal, but I am also very psyched to learn more about Metroid Prime 4, who's making it, how it's coming along, how it looks, and hopefully we're going to get a taste of all of that tomorrow. The plot has thickened over the cancellation of Netflix and Marvel's Daredevil. When the streaming giant announced last week that they had pulled the plug on their flagship Marvel superhero series, many assumed that Disney had forced Netflix to kill the show. Now it looks like it might be the other way around. Deadline reports that the decision to cancel Daredevil actually came from Netflix itself. It seems Netflix executives were tired of paying the production costs for a big show that was ultimately part of a Disney brand and not something that they own themselves, like Stranger Things or Orange is the New Black. Deadline claims that Netflix was fine with all of this up until Disney announced their own rival streaming service, Disney Plus, which goes online next year. If this really is why Netflix pulled the plug, then they likely killed other Marvel shows, Luke Cage and Iron Fist, for the same reason, and will almost certainly do the same thing with Jessica Jones and the Punisher after their new seasons are done. And, this is kind of easy to predict. We were talking about this stuff the minute that we heard that Disney was releasing their Disney streaming service. We didn't even know what the name was for that service at the time, but we were, speculating, what is this going to mean to all the Marvel shows on Netflix? And this is exactly what it means. They're going to run their course with the new season of Jessica Jones and the Punisher, and then that's it. But what these shows have proven is that they can work. And now Disney's got the baton to kind of either reinvent all of these shows, possibly recast them. Iron Fist is the one I would start with if you're going to recast. And then work their way to building these brands up again, bringing these characters back to us again. And they might be able to do it in small snippets in the other shows that they're doing, like Scarlet Witch and The Vision. They've got other ways that they can bring them back in, whether they use existing actors or they just bring in the characters again. It's going to be interesting. I don't think we've seen the last of these characters at all. This next little while is going to be interesting. It's also going to be interesting to see what Netflix does to counter the absence of these regular superhero shows. They have a partnership with Warner Brothers right now. They're being a little bit more proactive with getting newer episodes of the CW shows up there. They've also got that relationship with Black Lightning, and maybe they go deeper into that, but then, of course, the DC streaming service is coming as well, so all of those shows might disappear on Netflix as well, which means Netflix and Mark Miller and the Miller World Production Company are going to have to amp up their superhero output, and we might see a bunch of brand new things that we hadn't seen before. All right, and Netflix might be turning their back on superheroes because they want to go deeper into the drug trade. The streaming giant has renewed the hit series Narcos for a new season. It's called Narcos Mexico Season 2 and will be a direct follow-up to the recent Narcos Mexico, also known as Narcos Season 4. This means Narcos Mexico Season 2 will also be called Narcos Season 5. Whatever you want to call it will continue the story of Michael Pena as undercover DEA agent Kiki Camarena and Diego Luna as deadly cartel kingpin Felix Gallardo. Behind the camera, showrunner Eric Newman will be back to oversee the new season. Expect to binge watch it next year, and this is going to be interesting days for Diego Luna, jumping from the Cassian Andor series for Disney Plus and then bouncing over and becoming this really grotesque, evil drug lord that is not afraid to kill everybody. He's a great actor, though, and he's fun to watch, so it's going to be very cool to see how much gray Diego Luna gets in his hair over the next couple of years, because he's going to be jumping from set to set. I've reviewed Narcos Mexico Season 1 or Season 4. I thought it was Season 4, that's what I was calling it, but I really enjoyed it, so watch my review. It's on the channel right now. Excited as hell to see where this story goes, and of course it's all based on real events, which is awesome. That's one of the great pulls of Narcos, is that it actually interweaves, you know, real news footage and clips of the actual people that it's portraying, and it's very, very good. If you haven't watched Narcos, get on that. It's amazing. Now over to another streaming platform. Star Trek fans finally know when Captain Jean-Luc Picard will warp back onto their view screens. The new series starring Patrick Stewart as the iconic Enterprise captain will premiere late next year. That's according to CBS Chief Creative Officer David Nevins, who said while speaking at a recent media event that the Picard show will land in late 2019, following the debut of the second season of Star Trek Discovery in January 2019. Both shows are being made for the CBS All Access streaming platform, along with several other new Trek shows, which means CBS is banking on the franchise to help usher in their voyage to the digital frontier. The Picard show was first announced earlier this year and will mark Stewart's first time appearing in a Trek project in almost 2 decades. And this is wonderful. Not only is Star Trek, you know, at the forefront of getting us kind of used to this cable-cutting future that we're all into, and really, you know, emphasis on future, but I also love the fact that CBS, they're kind of leaning into the optimism of Star Trek in some interesting new ways. And that's what I love about Star Trek 2. It posits a future that is beneficial for all of us, and honestly beneficial for whatever life we might find out there. It projects this image of hope. I think that's great television that we need. Certainly there's some big epic space battles and some bad guys and villainy and all that stuff, but the core message is to spread peace across the universe, and I think that's really cool. And I think that that can be a great source of inspiration for future generations, and I love that we're seeing the investment in fiction that way. You know, I'm looking forward to all these new shows that are coming our way. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for our rundown today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to check out some more, please do that. And if you dig those, hit subscribe, hit that little bell. If you want to join the EPN family and become a member, hit that join button. We've also got some really cool merch, EPN t-shirts and hoodies and all kinds of stuff. You can find that at epn.tv/merch. Thanks for watching, everybody. Play forever.